The Encro was supposed to be used as a means of getting the warrants to set up future operations, but because they popped the top off the criminal underworld and they seen what was really going on in real time, they had to stop these things like the shootings and the drug dealing that was going, the importations that are coming in from different countries. They popped the top of the criminal underworld, and obviously they didn't like what they seen. They couldn't let it run, do you know what I mean? So they had to act fast. I don't think they obtained the right warrants, if I'm honest.
Do you remember how much they seized from you?
Well, as it said in the Hood's Hottest song that I made when I came home on P110, it was over £1 million in Bitcoin and over £1 million in cash as part of my case. And I think I said 200 keys in our stash. It wasn't, it was more than that. So, but they got a lot, man. They got a lot. They say £1 billion conspiracy, don't they? But it was a lot of bricks in it. It was a lot of bricks. But I've also seen the negative sides of that as well. Been stabbed 7 times.
Right, we're back again, guys. And we've got a pretty special episode today. We're with Ross the boss. Welcome, mate. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I like the way you call me special. Nice one, mate. I hope it's special in a
You
good
don't
way.
say that about the rest of the guests.
He's turned up. He's turned up, dripped out. He's ready for the pod. He's ready.
He said I turned up dripped out.
I see you, mate. So, I mean, I reckon we get like straight into sort of like talking about, your background and what was like the origin. What was, the spark that brought you into the game, let's say.
What, into the drug game?
Yeah, into the that kind of life.
I don't know. It's what I grew up around. It's all I knew, innit? Like, growing up in South Manchester, obviously it's full of drugs, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Not to mention, you're seeing people with nice things. Like I've said it before, it's the haves and the haves not, the haves and the have-nots. So you grow up, you see nice things and that, and then, I wasn't the most academic in school. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to say I was smart in other avenues and like people skills, things of that nature, but people would say I'm probably not smart because I got caught. But yeah, so I excelled in different ways, so I had to use what skill set I had, what gifts God kind of given me. Do you know what I mean?
So do you reckon like the system failed you? Because realistically,
I wouldn't say the system failed me because I was good in school. I went to a rough primary school, and I'm from South Manchester. Rough primary school and that, but then I went to a good high school though. Managed to get into a good high school and that, and I did well in school. Well, when I say well for what I would consider to do well, got all my GCSEs, etc, do you know what I mean? But considering I wasn't the most academic, dyslexic, struggle with writing, believe it or not, my handwriting looks like Egyptian hieroglyphics, but as long as I can understand my lyrics, I'm good to go. Numbers I'm great with, do you know what I mean? But yeah, so you gotta
be good with numbers in the game, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Did someone like take you under their wing, like in the streets wise, or?
My family was already involved from when I was a young man in it. So my family, I grew up around it.
What was the age they like introduced you then to the?
They didn't. My dad tried to keep me out of things, to be honest, but I just found my own way into the dark side. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So you were working separately.
Yeah, originally we was working. I was working separately. My dad wasn't involved in the game at the time because my mum had left us. My dad stopped doing what he was doing. He had a job to hold it down. My mum had left at the time. So yeah, he kept me away from it. He didn't want to risk going to prison because he had me and my younger sister, and the other ones, obviously my older siblings, they've all grown up now. But yeah, so my dad decided to start working, do things the right way to make sure we was taken care of and nothing could happen. But then I don't know, man, I just found my own way into the game, didn't I? And it started from there.
That's usually it's either you get like influenced into it or you just somehow stumble on it or just wander on it. And so when that happened, obviously, like, do you remember the first time you started like selling?
Well, everyone starts selling weed in school, don't they? Do you know what I mean? I started selling weed, but I sold everything. Me, DVDs, not DVDs, VCDs. There was at the time DVDs, counterfeit games, counterfeit dinner tickets, anything to make money. Importing cigarettes. I was a kid going on holiday with my older sister, filling up suitcases, bringing them back with. That's probably my first importation, cigarettes. Well, I wasn't involved in any other importations after that. Yeah, you know what I mean? Allegedly on paper. So yeah.
I mean, look, it's quite interesting to find out someone's like origin story, especially we're a podcast that we get people on who share like some unbelievable stories and what you know, I had that conversation with you over the phone. Like one of our main focuses, yes, get your story out there, but also show how you've come from that and now you've changed as a person.
Oh,
like,
most definitely changed as a person. Making a transition into being a musician, a lot of it comes with being a dad as well. I've got one of my daughters here with me today. Even though it's Father's Day, but it's another day in the office, isn't it? So.
Good Father's Day, you know, podcast. If you guys didn't know, we've got a live audience for the first time on this podcast. So you know, we've got a few people watching us here.
So now you know how I feel under the light, innit?
It's like Kill Tony.
Because normally it's just like 3 people in a room. It's like no pressure's on, pressure's on, guys.
Yeah.
So day in the life of like, so once you left school, right? And you're moving your way up, should we say, the ranks or whatever, the streets.
Yeah.
What's like a day in the life go down like for you? Are there a lot of stresses, or is it easy?
With the game comes a lot of stress. There's a lot of risk factor in it, but when you're younger, I had a daughter at 16, so that's part of the reason, if not one of the main reasons why, you know, I ended up dropping out of college, because I had my daughter young, and so I had to just start getting the money together. Like I say, I wasn't particularly good at anything and not had the craft or anything. I'm not great at like building or anything like that. Not particularly athletic, as you can probably tell. So it's not like I could do football or boxing or anything of that nature. Do you know what I mean? So that I just took my chances with the drug game. Unfortunately, I had a good run. Do you know what I mean? But unfortunately, you know, it didn't pay off in the end, but now I'm a musician, so I'm trying to turn the positive into a negative. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
we'll definitely touch on that in the podcast, because you've got a very interesting story when it comes to the music. You know, you've been on some pretty big things, so we'll definitely touch into that in a little bit. But I just wanted to know, obviously, however much you can say, can you walk us through like the whole operation, as much as you can?
So basically, I don't know whether you're aware of EncroChat. Operation Venetic, EncroChat, encrypted phones, and it was Operation Venetic, and they believed that we was operating on an encrypted device. Well, we was operating on an encrypted device, which basically we believed that was our security, which led to be our downfall. Do you know what I mean? So you buy devices, it was £1,300 for a 6-month subscription, say, I think at the time, I can't remember thereabouts, and you could exchange messages and stuff with other criminals all around the world and that. Legitimate people use Encro phones too, barristers, some celebrities use them because obviously it give you the privacy, do you know what I mean? But then obviously a lot of criminals was using them to orchestrate, you know, passing money, drugs, importation, firearms, things of that nature. This is things I'm not grassing on anyone, because this is all available on the internet. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like I'm blowing up. It's all actively out there. But yeah, obviously people would have been orchestrating hits on there, things of that nature, kidnaps, all that type of stuff.
Wasn't that information obtained illegally by the police though?
Well, they believe that it was obtained legally, but I know obviously our version of events and the reason why we were fighting the case for so many years, and I was on remand for 2.5, nearly 3 years, was because we believe it was a live intercept of our privacy and our actual data. So you can't actually you can intercept things live because they did it. I believe that's, in my opinion. They would state otherwise. The law would state otherwise. Obviously, it's been deemed obviously legal what they've done. Me personally, I think you know, the evidence is hearsay at best. There was a lot of messages that they managed to take that wasn't there was a lot of messages missing, things like that. So the data that they obtained wasn't all of the data. So how can you cherry pick messages and put them together, create timelines to say, like a lot of transactions and deals that went through, for instance, they never went through. There was hearsay at best. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people have had to go guilty to a lot of things they've not done. Do you know what I mean? Because they made it suit the narrative and cherry pick the messages. And when you pick a load of text messages, it's like, for instance, if you was to say to me, or if I was to say, I don't know, I won't use my daughter as the person for this, but if I was to say to Rhino Beats, now I'm a producer, a good friend, do me a favor, go and grab me the coke from the car. It sounds normal, but if I was to text him, grab me the coke from the car, even though you wouldn't really message up on an Encro, you probably would. You know, there's two ways of looking at things, you know what I mean? I could mean cocaine from the car, but coke, that's just a silly way of looking at it. But things can be misconstrued in messages, you know what I mean? Context, it's like, for instance, how many times you said you're going to kill someone? I don't know how angry you guys are, but you know, I've been angry in my time, and I thought, fucking fuck this guy, I'm gonna kill him. Do you know what I mean? You might even message it to someone, for instance, but now you know, if someone else responds back and is saying, do you want me to do it for you, and that, then it starts to turn into a conspiracy now. Do you know what I mean? Where I'm just using that as an example. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot more serious versions of events to why I believe that it was all misconstrued. A lot of it was misconstrued. I do believe the data was obtained unlawfully in this country. I know a lot of other countries thrown it out. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't admissible in them countries. So yeah.
How tapped in do you think like police are on phones and devices? Because we've had prior guests that have said top tips for like drug dealers: don't even communicate via any technology. Meet someone in a field or out your car, anything like that.
Listen, I know guys that was meeting guys in fields, and because of the ankles and that, because of the technology, they got nicked. Massive observations. You know what I mean? The ankle was supposed to be used as a means of getting the warrants to set up future operations, but because they popped the top off the criminal underworld and they seen what was really going on in real time, they had to stop these things like the shootings and the drug dealing that was going, the importations that are coming in from different countries. They popped the top of the criminal underworld, and obviously they didn't like what they seen. They couldn't let it run. Do you know what I mean? So they had to act fast. I don't think they obtained the right warrants, if I'm honest. But again, that's my opinion. I can't state that as a fact. And I know a lot of other people. But again, for the Joe public, they would believe that they got all these criminals and stuff. They took all this money off the street, but not everybody on the encore was guilty. That I do know. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Some people just use people's devices, and deals never went through. So how are you gonna nick someone and do them for something, for a crime that's not even been committed yet? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like that movie Minority Report. You know what I mean? But conspiracy is a motherfucker. They just put the C word in front of everything. Sorry for swearing in front of you, darling. But yeah,
it's and I remember you saying that actually a lot of it, they downplay how much was actually seized or how much like what was going on.
Yeah, I think they did at first, but now obviously the internet's got no chill. When the cases start to come out and stuff, then yeah, I think at first they did. Because he wasn't sure of the illegality of the warrants. There was a lot of people resigning from the National Crime Agency at the time. People died that was experts and stuff like that. I don't really want to touch on the matters too much in it because I like my life right now, innit? I want to keep it this way. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, fair. And do you remember how much they seized from you?
Well, as it said in the Hood's Hottest song that I made when I came home on P110, it was over £1 million in Bitcoin and over £1 million in cash as part of my case. And I think I said 200 keys in our stash. It wasn't. It was more than that. But again, they didn't belong to me. It was just part of it was just part of a conspiracy that I was connected to. My family was connected to, part of what they would consider an organised crime gang or an OCN, an organised criminal network. Do you know what I mean?
So do you reckon they just kind of cast the net wide and then just took everyone in that had any kind of association with
because they infiltrated the Enco phones and who's connected to who and stuff like that. Like I had paperwork and messages on other people's devices that I don't have direct contact with. Do you see what I'm saying? That caused a lot of problems for a lot of people too, because you could see what people were saying about you to other people as well, especially in prison. Do you know what I mean? A lot of stuff, had been stolen. People have been planning to shoot other people and things like that. So that caused a lot of problems. The way they did it was just it was ass backwards, to be honest. But
specifically, like, I asked how much did they seize?
Oh, from us. Yeah. Like I say, it wasn't. It didn't all belong to me, obviously. But they got a lot, man. They got a lot. They say £1 billion conspiracy, don't they? On the internet. I believe the Gangster Times was the first one to document it. But yeah, they say £1 billion conspiracy. Really? Again, they do juggle the numbers. They do put the value of cocaine up dramatically to street value and stuff, but it was a lot of bricks in it. It was a lot of bricks. There was some big shit happening, but
there's not good everybody lyrics that can come from that, mate.
Well, yeah. I try and stay as close to the to the truth as possible. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm the big fucking the mafia boss and this, that, and the other, and I'm running shit and that, because that's not the case. You know what I mean? I played a role. I had a role within my family, within my group. There's some people in my case that are not actually guilty. So yeah, a lot of people got roped in. A lot of people didn't get roped in. Some people can never come back now, for instance. They've had to leave the country for whatever reason. So yeah,
It's probably a blessing that they've had to leave this country, mate. Like the way it's going right now, fucking hell. Like it's just
I know.
probably
Well,
the
that's
best to like
another
not
thing.
live
I've come back. I've been gone for a couple of years now. I've come back on it. It's changed a lot, man.
You know when you get brought in, right? The connect that you've been working with, what do they think of that? Because then you're probably a loose end, right? When you get let out, or no? Or because did the police try to get you to give them up?
Well, obviously, they'll give you anything you want if you open your mouth, innit? But like we say, it's no comment in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, no comment and not guilty.
Did you owe money to the connect at that point, or no?
Nah.
So you're just squared off basically.
Can't comment on that, innit?
Fair. So what like? Let's roll it back. So when it was obviously when things were good, things like the business was booming and whatnot. Like, what was your life like? Was it like all flash, or like were you just quite a low key guy?
Do you know what? I like nice things and that, but I wasn't too flashy, to be honest. I've got 4 daughters. Family man. I did have legitimate businesses as well. So obviously, it was just to provide the extra mile. Do you know what I mean? You know, we lived a good lifestyle. I think we've been all around the world and that, been on holidays and stuff like that. You know, we lived a good lifestyle. Spent a lot of money, squandered a lot of money. I can't lie. I did squander a lot of money, but it comes because you think it's gonna last forever. That I can admit now. Now I'm a bit more older and mature, and I've sat down and done the time for it and time to think about it. And when you weigh the risk to rewards for do I regret it? No, I don't regret what I did. I don't. The only things I do regret is obviously my daughter's missing out on so many years. Obviously missing my daughter's proms, birthdays, you know. But I'm back now, and I intend to stay back. I served my time, and I'm planning to use it moving forward in a positive manner now, as a means of not glamorizing so much. Obviously, in my rap lyrics, I will glamorize the life that I once lived, because I lived it, I did it, I loved it at the time. I still will always have love for the drug game because it's a part of me. Do you know what I mean? You know, I've done things and experienced things the average Joe public will never do, but I've also seen the negative sides of that as well, and I've experienced the darker sides of that. Like, people won't understand the life-threatening situations I've been in, the times I nearly lost my life or been nearly kidnapped numerous times. You know what I'm saying? You know, been stabbed 7 times. Fucking the things you have to do to defend what you build in the street. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You got to be willing to go above and beyond the next man. If he's willing to do this, you got to be willing to do that. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's ruthless, man.
Yeah, it's kill or be killed, man, for real. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean?
What does it feel like to be stabbed? Like, in that situation, what did you feel like?
First time I didn't feel it, but after about 6 or 7 times, it starts to work.
Fucking hell,
I got 7 times, man. I got stabbed 7 times.
Where have you been stabbed specifically?
All over my body, you know.
Fuck.
Yeah. Down below, just missed the prize deals, you know what I mean? But as I say, I've got 4 daughters, so there's, working fine.
Must still work.
Yeah.
Is the adrenaline just going in that moment? Do you actually feel it though?
It's more of a sound. I just remember a sound in my head. It sounds like stabbing an apple in my head. I remember the sound in my head. That's one of the main things. But that's one of the things that I do remember. And I remember all the blood draining from my body. Just so much blood, and then I just remember a cold feeling coming down my back into my fingers, and that's obviously loss of blood. You know what I mean? And then, funnily enough, I got arrested after it as well, just to take the piss. So I got arrested and took to hospital. Yeah, because they found some drugs in the house that I got stabbed in. Do you know what I mean? I got set up. I got set up by women. So be careful who you invite around you. Do you know what I mean? Some women set me up.
Is that called honey trap?
Well, I've seen some stuff about that when I was in prison, but that was pretty much similar to what it was. Yeah, they got the drop on me in it, but you know,
they honeypotted you, mate.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they got me, man.
Where's that from? Is that from the interview? The film.
So, yeah, they got me, man. They got me, but you know, it teaches you in it. Don't get caught slipping in it. I've not been stabbed since, and I don't intend to get stabbed again in it. So
I assume so.
Yeah. I was quite young then at the time. I think it's 2007, so I was quite young at the time, about 20 or something. Something like that.
How old are you now, if I can ask?
37 just turned, you know. Just turned 37.
Happy birthday, mate. Happy belated.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Did you do anything special for the birthday?
You know what? I was in the studio, in London, on my birthday, and it was a friend of mine's studio as well. A friend of mine's birthday as well, whose studio it was. It's in the studio, and then we went to Sidewinder in Milton Keynes, actually. Went there, not been Sidewinder for years. I don't really go out anymore. Don't go clubs really anymore. yeah, more of a bar and restaurant type of guy now, or spa or something. But yeah, I went sidewinder for nostalgia purposes. Had a good time, and then went out into London to a club in Brixton actually. Mad. Shout out my brother Nines, man.
Yeah,
shout out Gunzi as well, man.
You linked up with Nines?
Not Nines, Nines.
I thought you said
Nines.
Nines.
Not linked up with Nines, no.
Yeah, he's
get a tune with it. Oh, he's finished now, isn't
he? He's not making music anymore.
Yeah, that's mad. Like I think he's actually arguably one of the most underrated like artists.
I don't think he's underrated. I think he's highly rated.
But realistically, if you look at like he is, in my opinion, he's better than Central C. Central C just does madness.
Two different demographics in music, though. I'd almost say two different genres of music, near enough, innit?
I mean, they usually like rap about the same thing, don't they?
No, but it's the way you talk about it, I suppose, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Do you reckon?
Gone like pop.
Yeah.
Like pop
do you reckon it's fake what
like
you're saying? Or do you reckon he's actually Central C's actually like been in that life?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know enough about him. I have listened to. I do listen to his music. I had his album in jail actually. I thought the album was sick, mate. He makes good music in it. I enjoy his music, and whatever he's doing, it's working for him. Do you know what I mean? And I do know he's been in the game prior for years. I've only been in the music game 2 years from prison, and then obviously I've been home a year now, just turned. So 3 years. 3 years, no, I'd say 3 years, touching 3.5 years. I've been in the music game. Do you know what I mean? So, what Central C's been in it for multiple years before, found his sound, found his, his image, and he's running with it. He's got his story, and look at what the man's accomplished. You know what I mean? Yeah, you gotta give him his flowers for that.
100%. Do you reckon that's coming for you? Have you got sights on that, or like, what's kind of like your plans for the music?
To be honest,
game?
I did. Obviously, I did have my sights on it from prison, because it started with a means of just documenting all the pain I was going through, all the PTSD I've got in my mind, all the losses that I took, doing something positive. I wanted to show my daughters I was doing something more positive. Started making music, started recording music in prison, started doing videos from prison, not so much the freestyles or anything like the other rappers was doing. I had music videos put down, but then again, I kind of thought I wanted to get into the. I was not aiming for the Central C thing. You know what I mean? I wasn't aiming for that, but I believe if you can build a platform to talk and stuff like this now, it's what you can do with that platform. Do you see what I'm saying? So I want to start going into like schools and stuff. I've been invited to a few different schools and youth projects and stuff like that to do talks, motivational speaking, and things of that nature. My manager and good friend Kieran Bryan, he goes into prisons and stuff. He does talks and stuff like that, and he does so many amazing things of things of that nature. So that's kind of the road. My pops as well, my dad, my right hand man, best friend, he's in prison now doing a lot of positive stuff. Obviously, he's part of my conspiracy. He was above me in the conspiracy. He's working on bettering himself, and that he's always been the person to go to for people. In terms of giving them advice and stuff like that. Not even necessarily just a drug aspect. I mean, just life advice. Helped a lot of people out. I would say he's got a lot of adopted sons. You know what I mean? He's helped a lot of men out along the way, women included. So I know moving forward, he's gonna have a story to tell. He's gonna be able to do something positive, make a positive transition for coming 100%. Home. That's something we're looking to build towards.
When's he coming out? When's his release date?
He's got 16 years, 11 months. He's done 5 years now. I believe with this early release that's coming in with good behaviour, things of that nature, he could be home in another 18 months to 2 years, I reckon.
Oh, that's nice. That's good. That's good. That's good. Well, yeah, obviously you get, is it like half the time if you do good behaviour? And
then obviously third.
Why do you think? Sorry.
No, I know that they're bringing out this early release now and stuff, so they're in talks of obviously emptying out the prisons for not violent offenders. You know what I mean?
Why do you think like Manchester is such a rep for like high level dealers as well? Because obviously Marbella right now, you're hearing loads and loads of stories from people in Manchester that they're going and making a connect in Marbella, coming back and then getting caught for it. Why do you think Manchester specifically in the UK has got like a hot spot for it?
Street culture, innit? It's obviously street culture. They've got a good nightlife, haven't they? I suppose.
It's a great nightlife.
Manchester's pretty governed, all things considered. Like different areas have got it governed, or they did have. Maybe not so much more now because it's just gone a bit mad since I've come home. Obviously, the next generation. But in my time, there was families. Everyone knew each other. There was a hierarchy to things. It was all kind of governed. Different areas had different things. You had different spots in town that they governed, or whatever, do you know what I mean? And then that's where the profit starts to roll in, do you know what I mean? But I just say it's down to mindset. I love being from Manchester because you go all around the world and you can adapt to anything, do you know what I mean? Multicultural as well, especially South Manchester, very multicultural, which is brilliant, do you know what I mean? So whereas I can find myself in different countries with different cultures, and it's flows natural to me, do you know what I mean?
Food is unbelievable as well. Wimmy Road, there's this one.
You go Wimsor Road for food, yeah.
There's this Afghan cuisine place. Oh my god, it's unbelievable.
I don't think I've been there. I don't think I've been to the Afghan one. I have passed through a few times since I've been home, but nothing worth talking about that
That's a bit of a hot spot as well, isn't it? For like, obviously, you get a lot of people going there. You get a lot of dealers around there, don't you? And
I don't know, because again, my style of dealing wasn't street level dealing in it. I was more like get in and get it out type of guy in it. So I have no doubt probably in it. Where there's a lot of people, there's a lot of criminality. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Wimsor Road, man, it's a big part of Manchester, and that. I like going shisha on Wimsor Road, to be honest. I enjoy my shisha there, and good people, good
There's
vibes.
Good spots there. I mean, I feel like as well, Manchester, for the music game, especially in the rap game, got a lot of people coming out there, especially recently, like Tunde, got Meeks, what else have you got from Manny? There's quite a few, well, obviously yourself, Jordan McCann, you know, there's quite a big list of people. Like I think Manchester and Liverpool is quite a big hotspot.
H went clear.
H. Yeah, how could I forget about him? But like as well with yourself, obviously in your social media accounts and whatnot. Like, what is your next step apart from the music game? Have you got any like big plans coming up?
So I've been up in London. I've not really been in Manchester much. I've been in London predominantly most of this year, would you say, innit? I've been away from home a lot predominantly most this year. Since January onwards, I've been in London way more than I've been anywhere else, with my manager. And yeah, just been networking up there with some great people, some great artists. I believe it's almost going to the capital, same way if I was going to get drugs, I'd go and get it from the source, and as closer to the source as you can get it. Same way I want to get into the music game, so I'm going to go to London and get to the source, you know what I mean? And I'm networking in London with a lot of people, so yeah, I'm enjoying that at the moment.
The talent down there is
it's unreal. It's unmatched. The work rate, the cameramen, the singers, the artists, the studios, the access. Everyone's more open to helping me, especially because I'm from up Manchester. They would say up north, wouldn't they? So yeah, the more, I don't know, I just seem to be networking a lot better up there. I'm friends with a lot of the musicians in Manchester and a lot of the producers, and that Rhino Beats, hardest in the streets.
Yeah, he's here, he's right here, behind the camera,
the man behind the mask. Innit? But obviously me and Rhino, we was working together from prison, making music. I nearly give up. He pushed me not to give up, because I caught another case from jail as well. Fuck. Yeah, another case from jail, but yeah, again, it wasn't me.
So how did you guys meet? Like, what was kind of like the?
You just sent me a message on Insta one day, didn't you? We got talking from there.
Yeah. And then they got talking from there. Sent some beats over. I bought a beat off him, but we made the song and never released it. I bought a beat off him flat out. And he was like, right, this guy's not messing around, he's fucking out X amount of £100 for a beat. This is before we're friends, you know what I mean? And so obviously I sent the money, and I was deadly serious about the music, you know what I mean? Not only was it therapeutic to me, they'd want to make a change. So yeah, that's how we became friends. Come out, done the Hood's Hottest. Me, you and Mike Wizard, we made the Hood's Hottest beat, didn't we? And then Fire in the Booth, we made Sofa to Southside with Jordan McCann. And then Fire in the Booth, my big shout out to Charlie Sloth, man, he hit me up when I was in jail. And I said, yo, I'm going to be getting the booth. He said, let's go, bro. He already heard my story. Already resonated with him. Charlie, man, good people, man. Still have contact with him now. Can still messaging me messages back. He's good people, man.
Yeah, how was that? Like the whole Fire in the Booth experience? Because obviously you
sick,
shared the studio with, I mean, Pop Smoke's been in there, Drake's been in there, who else has been in there? There's been some like top worldwide superstars.
Most definitely. Well, when we pulled up, Pot of People was in the minivan outside. Wanting, how mad was that? He was in his Vito writing his lyrics and that, and I'd seen him through the glass. I thought, wow, I was getting a big Frank Lucas quote out there. Excuse me, I gave him a Frank Lucas quote out the car, and KTS, the videographer, told me that Hot Paper was in the car, and no, in the van, sorry. And then yeah, we've gone in. To be honest, Fire in the Booth, I think it could have went better. I was a bit nervous. I was very nervous because you got to remember I'm only just making the transition into becoming a rapper. Do you know what I mean? That was my first big performance, I'd say. But and it was emotional. The first song got done. If you listen to the Fire in the Booth, the things I'm talking about, my mum passing away, my dad being in prison, losing my dad to the same case as me at these times, he's looking at a lot more than he ended up getting at.
Yeah.
My right hand man, my close brother, he got 31 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're deep, heartfelt lyrics.
Yeah,
like, you can tell they're real
stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Real,
so
yeah.
I think the emotion got the better of me to the point where it was in the headphones, and I was rapping, and then by the time I'd finished it, the next beats come in. Rhino beats, Artists in the Streets kicks in, and then it's Underdog beat comes in next. And I thought, shit, I need to snap out of this. Like, I'm in Fire in the Booth. I felt like I was in a boxing match or something. Do you know what I mean? Snap out of this. You're in Fire in the Booth. It's happening. Then I had to step the energy up. Do you know what I mean? I had to step the energy up, and I just managed to catch it.
You had good, sort of like a good contrast. You started first like deep, and then you went like proper like in on it as well. Like that's good. It's always good when there's a beat switch, and then like you just see someone just go in, like release.
I said to Charlie after it, I was saying, Charlie, man, I swear, with the adrenaline off that, man, I want to do that again. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was like, your gas is steamed up. You steamed up your gas as he set fire to the view. That was funny.
Yeah.
One take.
With the whole thing.
One take, man. One take. Big shout
Charlie
to Charlie,
always
man.
overdoes it.
Yeah, I feel like he does.
That button, man.
Yeah. It was good though. I brought my nephews up. My nephew YK. He's an up and coming rapper from Manchester. Check him out, YK. My nephew KM. Unfortunately, he's just been nicked now. He's in prison. I'm free. My nephew KM. Yeah, I'm gutted about that. It was his birthday 2 days ago. He's missed his birthday now. Gutted about that. But I brought my nephews. Me, Rhino Beats, Fiasco came. And my good friend Oz Cash as well from London. This is another thing about the music which I'm really enjoying the most. I've just done a song called NCA's Most Wanted. Excuse the pun. With NCA's Most Wanted with Oz Cash. Just done a song with him, video with him. But Oz Cash, I brought him to Fire in the Booth to come and link up with me. I was speaking with him prior. Met him at Fire in the Booth. I made some good friends for life through this music thing, and I'm enjoying it. Having some good people around me, like-minded people and stuff, creative people, positively creative people and that. So I'm enjoying that.
And obviously, like we can cut this out if it's like not meant to be public information.
No
but
worries.
with Gigs, you just done a tune with Gigs.
Not necessarily done yet, but I've been in talks with him. I've sent him over my verse. Big shout out to Hollow Man, one of the realest guys that I've even been talking with in this whole. I've met a lot of rappers that what did we say? Be careful about wanting to meet your heroes. Do you know what I mean? I met some rappers that I thought was going to be different than they was when I met them. Do you know what I mean? But I met some proper ones. Gigs, I've been chatting with him. I've just sent him over 2 songs. He said when he gets back to the UK, he's looking to put a verse down. So can't see him minding me letting the car out the bag, innit? I'll ask him after this.
What's the dream link up like?
Gigs, man. I'll be honest, the landlord, innit? Do you know what I mean? Gigs. Obviously, I'd love to make a song with Pot of Paper, definitely. But yeah, Gigs is the landlord, and when it comes to my demographic of music, for the reason why I started writing music,
he's the OG, bro. Like,
he is the landlord, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So Gigs. So this is what I'm saying. So, how can I put it? Rap wise, like growing up and being listening to all these rappers and that, getting to speak to them, getting to know them on a personal level, like Benny Banks, looking to get something done with him. I was at his video shoot a few weeks back in London. Big shout out Benny. I've sent him over a verse. So yeah, Benny, Pac-Man as well, an Asian rapper. He's a serious rapper. Been doing some stuff with him. Clue, I'm on Clue's album now. You won't even know these, man. These are before your time.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of them.
These are legends to me. Do you know what I mean? Clue. So I'm on Clue's project now. It's called Outside, and his project is called Tenacious. I've just featured on Jordan's album. I think I'm the only feature on there actually. On Southside too, they made a remix to it. So that was good to be a part of.
That's sick.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm featuring on a good few people's albums now. I met some serious good rappers along the way and that. Do you know what I mean? I had some good conversations. A lot of rappers have given me a lot of advice and that because they've been in the game for years. So I'm enjoying that aspect of it. That's what I am enjoying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Do you
good,
think the money from the rap game will ever get to the level of the money from the drug game, and how do you find that?
Probably
like,
not. No, I'll be honest. No, definitely
are you okay to accept that? Though?
Yeah. But well, again, like, fucking hell, I was having this conversation with someone the other day, someone close to me, and they said we had rocket packs on our backs. We was about to fucking, you know what I mean? But we was about to yeah, we wouldn't. It would have been life changing. It was already becoming life changing, but it would have been definitely life changing if I would have had a cleaner run at the drug game. You know what I mean? But that being said, with the music game again, there's only a few that really make it through off the music, because now I'm noticing it's more media and marketing. It's like I'm saying, it's your platform. It's what you can do with your platform, with your clothing brands, with your, obviously, the talking, the podcast. You know, you have to become a brand now. Everything's TikTok, everything. This is things I'm starting to learn now. So with the streaming and the Spotify and that, you need to have your own YouTube channel. So we've got our own YouTube channel now, the official Roster Boss OV YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to that, because we started our own YouTube channel now. Rhino Beats, he's got his own YouTube channel, for instance. He was on it a bit early, you know what I mean? Because when you're putting music on all these platforms, you're not getting paid off it. Your streams, you don't get paid much for streams. I believe it's going up now. For the money you put in, and everything has to be marketed now to get into the algorithm, for the money you got. The money I put into this rap thing from prison onwards, way over 150 grand now, way over, and I've definitely not received that back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of those things that you've really got to, like podcasting as well, something that you've really got to invest a lot of money into it.
But
And
I've lost 150 grand in the drug game before though, so it's, you know, I'd rather invest it into myself. You know what I mean? People used to laugh at me in prison when I think I was about 50 grand in on my first 2 projects, buying all the beats, producers, videos and stuff. And man in jail was laughing like, right, you spent 50 bags in jail on music. I'm saying, yeah, bro, but I've also give someone a couple of bricks and they've gone missing with it. Do you know what I mean? I've been nicked with it, so what, to make a couple of grand per key on it? Do you know what I mean? I'd rather invest in myself and building a legitimate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's better. It's money better spent. Let's say.
Definitely, most definitely.
And so on that, do you if you haven't got one already, do you reckon a record deal is ever coming, or do you reckon would you want a record deal? Would you want to do it independent? Because I know how in the
we've been doing it. We've been doing it independent. We've been approached that me and my manager. We've been approached by distributors, distribution companies, record deals. I had a record deal. I didn't have one. I got offered 2 record deals from prison. Do you know what I mean? So, but again, I'd still be signed to them now. And then for what? I put more money in than they would have put into me. So I didn't need a record label. Then I put big paper into this. I've got contacts. I've got links. I know how to network. My story's real. People know I'm real. You've not got to try and turn me into being all I have to do is get better at rapping now, which I'm mastering my craft. You even said it before, Ryan. I showed you some new stuff, showed him the Pac-Man track. I showed him the verses I sent to gigs. He was like, yo, you're getting better. Because people say I'm not the best rapper. I said it in Fire in the Booth. Cool. I might not be the best rapper, but, you know, what is it? Hard work beats talent, especially when the talent's not willing to work hard.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
And I'm working very hard. Been away from my daughters, been away from Manchester for a long time, been up in London networking, and I've been mastering my craft. You know, I've been living and breathing this music thing.
Yeah. So based on your lyrics, obviously it's all real life experiences. Can you tell us like what is like the maddest thing you ever saw when you were still involved, still active in the game?
Maddest thing I've ever saw
that you can talk about, obviously.
In terms of amount of work.
Yeah, no, that or like even like I don't know, just an example. You saw like some guy like dead on the street or like whatever, like something that really like to this day really still sticks with you.
We've all seen dead bodies, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, but what is like one specific event that you can talk about that you were like that's like a key event in my life that I'll probably never forget?
There's been a few, you know. There's been a few, but what can I talk about? It's gonna give me anxiety, this question.
You don't have to answer it, but one that you can talk about.
No, I've seen some good things and I've seen a lot of bad stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of bad things happen to a lot of bad people. I've seen that, obviously. I've seen large amounts of money. I've seen large amounts of work. Do you know what I'm saying? I've seen it and I've been a part of it. I've been around. I've lived it in it, but yeah, man. Some things you can't unsee. Some things that I'm glad I've seen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but what? Yeah, sorry.
Seen some beautiful women all around the world as well.
Yeah, that was the next question.
How ruthless is like the connect, like, because obviously you hear stories that, you know, if let's say they're South American connect.
No nonsense policy. I tell him that the what was it? The product might have been a mixed batch. Not like they'd mix the work, but there'd be different stamps in it, for instance. And they'd say, "Oh, my friend, my cat's just died. I'm not, in other words, I'm not interested. Fucking deal with it, sort it out." Do you know what I mean? I'm not interested. my cat's just died. I'm like, what am I supposed to say to that? You know what I mean? Your cat's just died, so I can't bring the work back. Or no, there's no bringing it back anyway. I have to get sent back, wouldn't it? But you know, or someone would have to receive it here or whatever. But yeah, man, just mad thing. Like, you just listen when you sign up to something, man. Sometimes there's no real getting out. Do you know what I mean?
Was that all on Anchor, or did you ever meet like in person the connects and that?
Of course, yeah, man. Of course, I've been all
How
around
do
the
those
world.
meets go down? Because obviously you see it in like the TV shows.
You know what? I
and
spent a
shit.
lot of time at a lot of people's, you know, been invited into homes. You know, I shouldn't say it, but my daughters have been at my eldest daughter. My eldest daughter's met more pugs than any man she'll ever meet ever could say they've met pugs. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, I had my daughter full time and she was with me a lot of time. But these are people you trust, and I'm not gonna fuck around. They're not gonna fuck me over. I'm not gonna fuck them. I'm not saying people I was sold to. I'm saying people I bought from. Do you see what I'm saying? So
I feel like turning up with your daughter as well is a big sign of like you wouldn't want to put your daughter in
I had
danger.
a full time in it. So, but like I'm saying, I wouldn't introduce my daughter, have my daughter around somebody. People are gonna just chat shit in the comments now. Like, what, you brought your daughter to a potentially life-threatening meeting? And not like there was fucking drugs on the table. What I'm saying is, you spend time getting to know people. You go places, hotels. You might even go holiday with them people, get to know who you're in business with. Do you see what I'm saying? Things of that nature.
If they got no reason to do anything,
you go on a podcast.
That's what I'm saying. It's family as well. Like, obviously, mine was all with family in it. Do you know what I mean? Blood makes you really like makes you family, but a lot of mine were blood family. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was a family-run business.
Do you remember the day you were arrested? How did that go down?
I do. You know, fucking hell. You was there actually. You wasn't there. My only daughter that wasn't there. Yeah, she's not mentally scarred by it, but I am still. But yeah, I was in Barcelona the night before. We got into a fight. So we got into a fight. Police had turned up, and they ended up pulling guns on us. But it was just over a random fight, a bar fight, so we couldn't understand that. Anyway, they took us into some like garages things. I believed he was gonna rob us. I do believe he was going to rob us. And then when they run the passports and stuff, they took our chains, took our jewellery, took everything. I believed he was going to rob us. And then when they started P&C'ing us, or they've got to myself, started P&C'ing it, and something's came back. Then some higher uppers came, and then I got onto it, something's not right. So I didn't get a flight back, missed the flight. We didn't get a flight. I got a flight back a couple of days later, but there was already a warrant for my arrest. I managed to get through the airport, I don't know. I could come through the airport, got home about 2 in the morning, and then police come flying up the street. Our response, big TAU van, loads of cars, and just fucking, we're gonna blow your windows, all that type of shit. I managed to open the door to him. Actually, I was fucking naked at the time as well, funnily enough. I think I had my kicks on, that was it. But ran downstairs, and yeah, man, just fucking swarmed them, didn't they? And then I knew it was over. To be honest, I knew it was over.
Yeah, well, when
how long did they question you for?
A couple of days, you know. I got nicked the first time, and then they come the second time. They let me go the first time because there wasn't enough evidence, because they didn't know whether they could use all this Encro evidence. I was pretty one of the earliest ones to get nicked on the Encro. I think some people got nicked maybe 2 months prior to me, like the other Encro guys that I know. But yeah, I got nicked it was in September 2020. I got nicked. I believe they got into the Encros around the January, end of February time. I think they got into the Encros, and then they set everything up from there. So I was one of the first ones to get nicked. The first wave I would call them.
Did it not go through your head to just like, you know what, let me just get the fuck out of let me just get out of let me go to Dubai.
Yeah, because I already said it to my dad. I already said something's not right. I said it's these Encros, do you know what I mean? I said it was the Encros. He said it was paranoid. I said I wasn't. And then I could have left the country, but again, I've got daughters, so to leave the country, I'm going to be leaving my daughters anyway, do you know what I mean? So I'd rather just get my porridge, get my jail done, and get back to my kids, you know what I mean? I don't really believe in running from your problems like that. And if you make a mistake, you stand on your face it, you know what I mean? You get it over and done with.
A lot of people have gone to Dubai though. A lot of high level
I know, but a lot of people are getting extradited back from Dubai now. Dubai's not safe anymore, is it? Dubai's not safe. Spain's most definitely not safe. Yeah. People have been getting dragged back from Spain for the longest. Dubai's not safe anymore. It's safer, but it's not safe.
What do you think about those two places in specific?
Spain and Dubai.
Yeah, like
I'd never actually been to Dubai, funnily enough. I've flown to Dubai airport to go to Thailand, but I've never actually been to Dubai. Spain, I've spent a lot of time in Spain. I've been Mexico. I've been, I've been Bulgaria. Been all around the world, man. Jamaica.
Yeah.
Mad places.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dubai is like the in thing now, innit? Do you know what I mean? Well, it's been in for a while, innit? But yeah, I've never actually been to Dubai, you know, funnily enough.
And like, is your what do you think about all these, like, you know, these like, obviously the like big time drug bosses, drug kingpins, criminals going out to these places and just hiding out there? Like, why do you think that is happening more and more often? Like,
I don't know, because you are the company, you're keeping it, so that's what you want. You surround yourself with winners in it, and the ones that are doing well for themselves, and you know, they are not necessarily hiding out, they're hidden in plain sight. Then you fair play to them, hats off to them, I rate them. Why not go to a place where the crime rate's down, when you can walk around safe with your watch on and a nice girl on your arm and have nice properties, and you know, it's money culture in it. Do you know what I mean? Why do you want to be, you know, king of the council estate, you know, when you can be over there, and you can be, it's networking in it, your network's your net worth in it, so it's who you're around, you're around other winners or other, you know, contact stuff, things of that nature. Do you know what I mean?
very right.
But yeah, so I believe that's probably why, in it. So fair play to them guys, man, big them up.
True.
You know, in Marbella though, like, there's so many high level
It's saturated
people,
now,
right?
though,
Yeah,
isn't
so
it?
how's there not beef kicking off?
But are they
left,
high
right,
level
and
though?
centre?
You would consider
Yeah,
them
I
high
don't
level.
know,
There will be,
but
there is
yeah.
obviously big players everywhere. There's big players everywhere. Do you know what I mean? You just won't know it, in it. The ones that are really doing it, you don't hear about, or you don't see them. They're not really flashy. But Marbella is saturated, man. Obviously.
Is it kicking off everywhere there? Because like, how can you get so
To
many?
be honest, I
different...
never went there to party. I went there on the off season, innit? But I spent a lot of time in Spain with a lot of my family members and stuff like that. But I wouldn't necessarily go to Marbella if I was going there to conduct business. So, and I most certainly wasn't going there to party really when I'm conducting business. So, you wouldn't go to Marbella really to potentially conduct business, because it is a bit hot, innit? Do you know what I mean? You know, you're cutting through Marbella, you're bumping into people you know, from Manchester or Liverpool or Leeds, Sheffield, Nottingham. So, you know, no ideas original, nothing new under the sun, in it. So, the original ones that went there and done what they've done, they got in, you know, at the right time and that. But again, it's
Kinahan started there, I think. The Irish like cartel.
I know. I watched a documentary on them guys the
I
other
think
day.
they started. They set up a boxing.
Yeah.
Like
I watched that. You know what? I ended up watching it all. I've not had much chance to watch TV since I come on, but I ended up watching every episode in a row. Actually, binge watched it with my manager. That was serious. That them guys were not fucking about, was there?
He's in Dubai now.
I wouldn't know. I don't personally know him, innit? I don't personally know him, but yeah.
McGregor does, apparently. Fucking hell. They've
All
put a
of
hit
them
out.
do.
Haven't they put a hit out on McGregor?
I'm not sure about.
If they put a hit out on McGregor, you wouldn't know about it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
put it
saying?
out, yeah.
But you wouldn't know about
Fair,
it. Nobody
fair.
would until after the fact, innit? So I can't see that being true, innit?
Yeah, I guess.
But they do run a large part of boxing, I think. They signed Tyson Fury.
But again, no, they're
and
legitimate
people
businessmen in
like
their
that.
own right, innit? Do you know what I mean? So, you know, they built something, whether it came from I can't honestly comment on that, but you know, you gotta respect a man's hustle and his drive. Behind every legitimate business, I read this in a book in jail, innit? But behind every legitimate business is a crime, and I didn't really understand it at the time. But when you're trying to set up legitimate businesses and that, if you do everything by the book, even down to your taxes, down to everything, it's nigh on impossible to get it off the ground, especially small businesses, you know what I mean? And in the climate and the way things are now. But
yeah, that's why, like, we don't pay any taxes. We don't do, like, we're very not legitimate with this business, right?
and he asked me to write an invoice.
No, that was.
What's some
please
of the,
do not use that
the
against me in
ways,
a court
like,
of law.
You'd launder money. Well, not you specifically, but people nowadays would launder money, and because I've heard barbershops now are rife for it.
Oh, they're getting raided left, right.
You guys
centre.
are so behind the times with all these things, barbershops, sunbeds and that. These are all old, like, figures. Like, I'm not saying everyone with a barbershop and a sunbed is laundering, because they're not, do you know what I'm saying? But they're all old ways of doing it. Car washes. I don't even want to blow the game up because it's not a part of my conspiracy in it, but there's so many ways to launder money in it. But all I know is we used to get token numbers. You'd have a token number that'd be given to you on a note. Someone would send you that token number. You go meet a driver, you pass them fucking, I don't know, $500,000 or whatever.
Wow. They convert it to crypto.
yeah, you get the token number, and then it lands where it needs to land on the opposite side of the water. Do you know what I mean? And that is it. Someone gets paid points for that. I can say all this because it's on the end code. It's not like I'm saying who was doing it for us, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all on the end code, innit? It's all out there, innit? So it's not like I'm blowing up the game.
Yeah,
innit?
of course.
But yeah, so even when I say, what did I say in our his track? And my reply saying the token number, yeah, big man, I'm good. And only certain man knew what that was. Do you know what I mean? So when you got kids saying send the token number, they don't even know what they're talking about. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a whole other world to me that now, though, to be honest.
Well, you said the game's dead, isn't it? Like,
I wouldn't say it's dead, innit? It might have come wrong in other podcasts because when things get chopped up, I'm not saying it's dead. You know what though? Yeah, it fucking is, man. The asses fell out of it, man. I know. I only know this because I see something on your podcast, but the price of cocaine is the cheapest it's ever been. You can get. That's the only reason I know it. Yeah. Nah, but I do believe the asses fell out of it. I do hear things through I overhear people talking in parties what the prices might be. Now I'm not saying I'm actively involved because I'm not, but the asses fell out of it. Where's the profit margin, man? Do you know what I mean? It's saturated in it, but you know what I mean. Trap smarter, not harder in it, I suppose, in it.
I mean, the drug game, realistically, is always going to be one step ahead of the police, and it always has been, and I think it always will be.
You would think so, but they are fucking catching up, man, and they are tightening the nets, and this is the sad thing. I was speaking to someone very close to me that has never been to prison, but has actively been in the game for a long time, or was actively, especially when I was coming up. Big part of me coming up, to be honest. Obviously, I can't say no names, but he's never been to prison. He's fully legitimate now, and he said this would be the worst time to become, for teenagers getting into the drug game now and starting, because just the technology they got against us, you know what I mean? They have, they've got a lot of technology, man. So your chances of getting caught now are far higher than they've ever been.
No, facts.
More people getting into it than ever, though, right?
I would say I don't know, is there though? I don't know.
I feel like the youth nowadays.
Yeah, because it's a different culture now, innit? It's a crack and heroin epidemic, innit? Like obviously the county lines, all that type of stuff. Yeah, so that's thingy, but. Like I say, I was more into the weight game. Do you know what I mean? That was my thing, innit?
Yeah.
Would you ever have gone down like being a runner if you didn't have that connect? Like you didn't have a family that was heavily involved. Would that be something you consider, or would you always try just level up to the straight way?
Nah, everyone's had to start out as a soldier. Of course, I started out as a soldier. I'm not gonna say like I just went straight up there and that. No, I started out as not that I ever grafted for someone. I started my own phone. Everyone starts with that, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Started my own phone, done my own thing, but I decided when I had kids to pull away from it and then let other people take my position. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And just work my way up, and that was the plan, innit? Yeah, that was basically it. Everyone has to put that groundwork in. You can't just come in the game and think you've earned the right to be there. Do you know what I'm saying? You have to put in the work. People need to know they can trust you. They need to know you can deal with a situation if it goes wrong accordingly. Do you know what I mean? And you can stand on your business, and you can be trusted to be given the amount of work that they're giving you. Do you know what I mean? So,
I mean, if you had to start today, let's say if you're a dealer these days, obviously, allegedly, let's say you just like, well, all right, I'm going to pick up the phone, I'm going to graft, I'm going to start grafting. What would be like the first things you would do to try and not get caught as much as possible? Like what is something different now?
I've said it on other podcasts there again, but it's just the sell side and the IMEI numbers of your SIM cards. It's all good changing your SIM cards. I've said this before in another podcast. It's gone pretty viral, so I don't want to be banging on about the same stuff. But just the sell sighting, they've got you on the sell sighting. They've got you on your smartphones traveling with that. They've got you going through like your car, going through the ANPR systems, things like that. Everything is documented. You know what I mean? People are documenting on social media now what you're doing, where you're going, things like that. I mean, you take a photograph on social media now, and you're with 4 of your friends, and all 5 of you have not got a job, but you've all got chains and watches, and you're not got a form of income, or you're not paying tax. You're all drug dealers. We're doing our own surveillance now. It's a surveillance society. Do you know what I mean? Without even knowing it. Do you know what I mean? So it is hard, man.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna try and preach and give out some advice on fucking how not to get caught in it. But best of luck to any of yous in it. Obviously, I'm serious though, man, because we all had to come through struggles in it. Do you know what I mean? And then that's the way you got to make it out. And then you get a good run at it. I mean, I had a good run at it. Do you know what I mean?
Was it worth it?
Yeah, it was worth it, man. I've had the sickest life, bro. Sickest life. And obviously, I got off. I wouldn't say lightly because I lost a lot as well. I've lost so much shit to this. Do you know what I mean? but I've learned from it, grown from it, and I'm not trying to glamorize it either, but I can say it with a clean heart, like, yeah, man, I don't regret what I did, because it's what I'm gonna turn it into. You with me? So now I've got a platform to talk on things, you know what I mean? When I go into these schools and stuff like that, or prisons and that, people are gonna understand the guy they're speaking to is real. He's been through it, so they're more inclined to listen, and then obviously I can maybe point them in the right direction, or help them with opportunities and how not to do things. I'm mentoring people and through social media all the time, people that have been involved in drugs, it's not working out for them and that, and I've been giving them things, and now they got jobs and stuff like that. They watched my podcast and they said that it stopped them from doing certain things, you know what I mean? So it's had a good positive impact, to be honest, up to now. But yeah, good luck to any of them that are involved in the game. And fair play to you. You got to do what you got to do, and everyone's got to provide. Yeah. Everyone's got a story. Everyone's got a struggle in it. But very true. Just be careful, man.
And respect to you, man. Like a lot of, I saw some very worrying statistic about the reoffending rate in the UK. It could have been so easy to, like, obviously it must be difficult going back to a legit life after having lived this life. And obviously after prison, it could have, if you wanted to, it could have been so easy to just go straight back into the game. But like, what is it that actually, apart from I want to change and everything, how have you been able to keep away from the temptation of, like, oh, it's money that I can make and I know how to make it, I know how to make it very well? Like, how have you, like, stayed away from that temptation?
To be honest, I already programmed my mind from a prison cell that this is what I was going to do, and I finally want to see something through. And my daughters, I can't get my daughters again. I can't put them through it again. I just can't. My dad's gone. My nephew's in jail again. Like, he's just been nicked now. My dad's gone. We've not actually spent a Christmas together, all of us. Someone in my family's always going to prison now. Do you see what I'm saying? You know what they say, shit rolls downhill, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? My brother-in-law, jail. Do you see what I'm saying? I hope we're not sat together at a table and we're a close-knit family, and all members have not been in prison. Do you see what I'm saying? So I need to break that cycle, man. I got to. But yeah, I can't miss no more years of my daughter's life. And again, I'd say no amount of money is worth your freedom, innit? But yeah, it depends on how much. Nah, I know millionaires that are in jail. Do you know what I mean? That are still earning that are still sat on money. Do you know what I mean? But you're in jail, man.
Yeah, what's the use of it? Yeah, if you're in jail.
Yeah.
You would have had a lot of heat coming out as well. Surely they're still on your back, like, after you just exited.
They can be.
They're expecting you to.
I said it to him. I get along with my probation officer, but I had one step in for him while he was on leave. And they were like, "Hi, Ross, can you provide?" I said, "Listen, I'm in London. Can you provide? You don't think of me being in London?" I said, "You've only got to type in on the internet to see what I'm up to." Do you know what I mean? I was at DJAG online. Do you know what I mean? Outside in London, so it's like, they can watch me if they want to watch me. I've got one phone. I'm only allowed one phone. That's it. They can watch me. What they're gonna see? Maybe going studio, coming back, spending Father's Day with my daughters, with Rhino Beats, going for meals or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong.
They'd find a pretty normal life then these days.
Yeah.
Well, as normal as it can get when you're trying to make in the music.
Yeah, that's it.
They're probably getting some good content out of watching you, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Listening to some sick beats and like some bars.
Yeah, not doing anything. So that's a good feeling. Do you know what I mean? But I do miss the money. Of course, I miss the money, innit? Of course, I miss the money. I lost a lot of money. It cost me a lot of money to be in prison. Lost a lot of money. Lost a lot of friends. A lot of friends have not paid bills and things like that. That hurts. People that should have been there for me wasn't there for me. But you go through what you go through, innit? So just gotta learn from that and then moving forward. And this music stuff pops off depending on how high I get to. But yeah, man, I'm attacking it. I'm giving it everything I've got in it.
Were you in the same prison as your dad?
I was padded up with my dad. Yeah. I was padded up with my dad for nearly 2 years, I think. And then, no, it wasn't. Yeah, it was about 18 months, I think. And then he got catted. They took us down the block, put us in stripy suits and catted off to strange ways. They took my other co-defendants to Belmarsh. They split us all up, do you know what I mean? And then, yeah. What a journey, man.
Was it a coincidence that you got padded with him, or can you request stuff like that?
Nah, I knew the screws. Like when we got nicked, I knew the officers at the desk. I was in prison prior, when I was younger. I went to prison before, so I knew the screws because we used to play cards, poker, you know what I mean? He used to let us gamble, this particular officer, and he actually remembered me, do you know what I mean? So we let me and my dad go on the same wing. It was COVID at the time, there was 2 different wings, let us go on the same wing. And I said to my pops, when you get off the prison bus, don't leave, you get me? I already told people that we was on route there, and everyone knew he was coming in it, you know what I mean? So everything was already patterned. It was patterned, and we got padded up together. That was an experience, man. It tested our relationship, but you know what? I wouldn't change that for the world either, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't change it for the world, because I'm close with my dad anyway. We're tight anyway, you know what I mean? You know, he's my best friend, you know what I mean? He's my idol, my world, I say it. But being padded up with him, like, I know I drove him up the wall, do you know what I'm saying? But he drove me up the wall, but you know, he's got his own relationship with my other brother and stuff, my eldest brother, but he's got a different relationship with me, do you know what I mean? We share something that they can't share, do you know what I mean? Like, that's my compadre, man.
How many hours a day are you in there with him?
But it was COVID at the time, so 23-hour a day bang. Got 23 and a half at first, 23-hour a day bang. It was heavy, man.
Yeah,
it was heavy. Then it went down to 22, 21 after a few months. It was hard, man. 9 months didn't see my kids for. Then I got to see them once a month. One child at a time with one adult, all the COVID restrictions. It was hard. The jail was a mess, man. It was a mess at the time. Better food trays all over the yards, windows missing. People are losing their minds, man. There's so much bang up. But
yeah, fucking hell.
You know, these worse prisons in it. Put it this way, I could have been banged up abroad a few times in it. So you know, I think a British jail's not the end of the world, in it.
Yeah, it could be worse. You know, you're in your home country, and I feel like I remember you saying you've got some things to share which you haven't shared before with us. You've got some sort of like a green light to be able to share it with us.
Oh right, I'll give you my social medias later. It's part of the end of the show.
Yeah. And look, I mean, realistically, your story is one that's very, very inspiring, to be honest, because, you know, as I said, it's very easy for you to like to have been able to. I mean, the contacts are there. You know people in the game. It would have been very easy for you to go out and then get straight back on it. And now you're instead choosing the right path, which is spreading positivity. So what would be kind of like your number one advice for, you know, these, because what we're seeing all these youths starting out, you know, they're influenced by the people around them. They're influenced by being like, fuck school, I don't give a shit, like I'm just gonna like be a menace, pretty much. Yep. So what is kind of like your number one thing that you would say to like the youth these days?
As in terms of music, or just life in general?
Just in general, just if you've got any like wisdom or anecdotes to share with them that, like, you know, would...
Mantras almost.
Sorry?
Mantras, right?
Yeah.
Well, I do believe you are the company you keep, most definitely. I do believe that people you know, you feel like you'll ride out for now, you know, you'll go riding for, you'll pull that trigger for, and that. Don't be expecting them to do the same, because when you're gone and you're doing a 30 or whatever, they're not gonna, you know what I mean? People change, time changes people, life just keeps life in, which I'm starting to learn now, do you know what I mean? People that I grew up with, you know, it's all love, no problems with them. I wish them the best of luck and that. But people that I would have done certain things for back in the day, or they probably even believe they would have done for me at the time, my man's not on that now, innit? Do you know what I mean? And no doubt they're not, do you know what I mean? So things change, and your mindset will change. You will grow older, you will mature gradually. A lot of youngsters are mature for their age, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I know it all, because I don't, but you're definitely the company you keep. Learn to say no as well. Like, I used to be a people pleaser, do you know what I mean? I never used to want to let people down, so I put myself under a lot of pressure. I put myself under more pressure than the person would put me under, do you know what I'm saying? Because I always want to make sure everyone is happy with the transactions or what's going on that. But if you just learn to say no, innit? Do you know what I mean? Not even just necessarily in drugs, in anything. Just be comfortable, and be comfortable in your own space, in it, your own headspace. Find something that you're comfortable in. Definitely say get into martial arts and training as well, most definitely. And yeah, man.
Yeah, you need sort of like an escape. You need like would you say the music's like that?
Music's that for me. Yeah, definitely. In prison, I got into my fitness. I lost a lot of weight. I used to be really big. I lost loads of weight. Started training, got my mind strong. Do need to get back into the training now. It's slacked a lot because of the music, and I'm up and down. But again, no excuses. I can do it in there, I can do it out here, but life just keeps life in. But yeah, definitely you are the company you keep. Don't be afraid to say no. And if you're gonna graft, try your hardest not to get caught.
That is the goal, isn't it?
Stack and leave. If you're gonna do it, stack, man. Invest, leave. There's so many more things available to people now with the crypto, with the online, the type of stuff that you can set up. You don't need to go and get a premises now to rent a premises where you're paying all these ridiculous rents and all this, that, and the other. Do you know what I mean? I bet this spot cost a lot of money. Do you know what I mean, to rent? There's so many things you can set up now that don't require big amounts of money to invest. You know what I mean? And definitely stay on building up your credit rating. Credit rating's a must, man. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, to get like obviously a house and everything, you need that to be up.
Because I had a perfect credit score there enough, but now that's all fucked up. But I'll get it all back though. I know how to do it.
Of course,
you know what I mean?
Of course. Well, I mean, you've.
Yeah, no, I just wanted one more thing. You know, like, are you single right now? I was gonna ask you about women.
Yeah, you can ask me about women. I'm currently single right now. Yeah.
Yeah. The women, is it hard to like find a real woman in your position? Because obviously, one, you've came from basically being linked to having loads of dough, and also you're a rapper.
Yeah. I do get loads of messages in that of girls, and not loads, but a lot more than I ever did before I started rapping. Put it that way. But I did used to be pretty fat. Do you know what I mean? So I lost a lot of weight. Don't know if I'm looking better now but yeah. Obviously, it's hard to find the real ones in it, but. Yeah, I'm speaking with somebody now that I like a lot. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, man, what can I say in it? But right now I'm single though, innit? I can't commit to nothing in it. And again, I'm a rapper in it, so I ain't looking to break no girls' hearts in it. But you know, at the same time,
I feel like rappers have a rep for like just
for being a bad guy and that in it. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm 37 now, innit? So I'm not looking to really be out here messing about and that. I've got 4 daughters. It is currently so. Don't want to be
any more to come or no?
We won't comment on that for now.
Company present.
I think we'll wrap it up there.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.